You need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
There are the numbers for Brate from a week ago. 6 catches, 52 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
They'll run it here. This is D'Onta Foreman. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017, and really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And it's a fumble. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Watson hands this to Foreman, and he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here's Watson. Try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. It's picked off by Bryce McCain. He's at the 40, 20, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there. So go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a Touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Here's Watson now on second down. It's complete to Fuller. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Watson now from the gun on third down. He finds his target, Fuller. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. They give him a gain of 37.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On second down, here's Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Again, it's Watson. Shedding the tackle. That's complete right around the 8. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call it?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a...
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Alfred Blue, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking,
Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the rookie first-rounder from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets him back for second down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 19 on third and 18, and that'll move the chains.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A first down carry for Barkley. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they've got it here with a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. Here's a give to Barkley. And some room to maneuver. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are in for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 14-7. That time a 6-play drive. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Left side, Hopkins. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now Saquon Barkley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. A handoff to Barkley, and he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Flushed out right. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means the defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To throw on second is Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Damon Harrison busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Now it's Watson. And he's gonna go down again. Olivier Vernon. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are gonna bring up a 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Elsewhere, second quarter in D.C. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Alex Smith leading the charge offensively. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. After the interception, here's Watson. And his throw here's incomplete. Eli Apple, good to the core there as he gets in and knocks it away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throw left side complete. It's Griffin. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Throwing on third down, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Griffin. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And this is going to be incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah,
then with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Texans on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Now Watson. And that will be incomplete as well.
Not only was that a 3 and out, it was their 3rd straight incompletion on this drive, and they didn't even think about trying to run the football. Now they have to give it up.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he'll escape to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start our tour with a trip to FedEx Field, where we find Green Bay on the road to take on Washington. And it's the Reds.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This is taken at his 4. That's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes Kyle Lauletta and company back onto the field. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss. Yeah,
give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
On second down, here's Barkley. And some room to run now. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What would Big Al was thinking on draft night? Had to be so happy for his son, but they grew up watching Jets games. Just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, he wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-Men. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Ellington now to return it. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson, and that is incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken around the 12. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll go to Barkley again. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end, Ingram. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands,
speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
He'll look to throw. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On the run, it's Barkley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Carry here for Shane Vereen. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. They'll look to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hopkins. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On first down, it's Watson. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Olivier Vernon in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, here's Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Elsewhere, a third quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates. On first down, Watson. He hits Blue. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 more on that one and another first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A carry for Foreman, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now Watson looking to throw on second down. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Cameron Brate, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, he was the first back taken in the draft. Ended up going number 2 to the Giants, and there was never a doubt that he would be the first runner off the board. We just saw why. His ability with the ball in his hands to turn a nice little gain into something big. He makes plays no matter how you get him the ball.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Back to throw now on first down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. He finds Beckham complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now it's Barkley. He's to the 10. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They come up in an offset eye. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So we'll have a challenge here, and this one could go a long way towards determining the game's outcome with our score tied here in the 4th.
And one thing I have to keep reminding myself of, every time we run into this situation, there must be indisputable visual evidence in order to overturn a call or to change it. So that has to happen. Everyone's got to be on the edge of their seats.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw, and he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Giants have broken our... tie as they take the lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Oftentimes when you give up a touchdown, it's really a deflation for your entire unit. And the special teams crew, when they run out there, they still feel it, and maybe they don't go after it so much. Instead, they gave great effort there, blocked the extra point, and really gave them a lift after giving up the score.
Yeah, gave up the touchdown, lost the lead, but a nice job to get in there and block it. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shut. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Eli Apple. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick six, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Down. Black 22.
Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Throwing again is Watson. It got his man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 44 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on second is Watson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Corey Graham. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Again, it's Barkley. And some room to work. And he's brought down after a good gain. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause of the action. A timeout here defensively. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's Barkley on the counter. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Giants on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 15. Back to throw here. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
I can put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Watson now to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Running left, it's Barkley. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Giants, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Texans, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get